I know that everyone loves this hair, but the hair just had to go. I just needed it short again. It was annoying. But that's last month's news. So let's talk about all the other things that happened in May here on my channel. First of all, I made a response video to Lena about being ginger, and I really loved your comments. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. It was really interesting. Also, I uploaded 2 tags again. I know I don't do them that often anymore. I did the audiobooks tag and the I'll probably never read this tag, and they were fun. Go watch them if you like. Then I made a video about why I struggle with the 9-to-5 life, and I really liked the discussions we had there, and you seem to like me talking about work life or my life situation with work. So let me know if you want to hear more about my job or my career. That is non-existent. And of course I also wrote a letter to May, which was not very eventful, but it was nice, and thank you for your comments as usual. The only video I made this month about a book was where I talked about Awakens by Elise Kova, and what really bothered me about the main character and how some of the things are just badly written and the choices are bad. Now in the comments people told me that it gets better as the series continues, and that the narrator is more stronger and she develops better. So maybe I'll continue, but not anytime soon, I guess, because I have so many other books to read. After Awakens, I read There Are Monsters Here, which is a very short novella or short story by Cameron Chaney, who's also known as Book Movie Guy here on BookTube. And I liked it. It was very interesting, it was well written, it had some cool ideas, and I recommend you check it out. It's only, I think, 35 pages or so, and I hope Cameron publishes more. I know he's writing more, so there's something to look forward to. And the last 3 books I finished in May were on audio. I finally finished listening to The Sellout, and I don't know, I had struggles with this book from the first minute on. It started off and I felt like this is very American, and I was always short of DNFing it. It wasn't until much into the second part of the audiobook where the story picked up a little bit and it got a lot more interesting. But overall, I really don't know what this book wanted to tell me. I sometimes felt I should be offended or should be emotionally involved more into what he's saying, but I just couldn't care. I blame it on it being very American, dealing with American problems and things that I'm just a little bit oversaturated on Americanism right now. So maybe that's why I couldn't deal with it. Also the audiobook, I don't know if it was the best way to consume the book for me. It was well done. I really liked the voice, but it was very slow. I sped it up to double speed and it was still slow, but the voice was very soothing. So I kind of would like to listen to this voice just talking to fall asleep, but that doesn't help you consume the story. Also, I felt that he gave the narrator a very contemptuous voice, which I don't know if it helped the book. It was well done, but I do have problems with like voicing my thoughts about it, and most of all, I just didn't care enough about the book. The other 2 books I listened to were utterly fun though. There was the Unmentionables, a Victorian Lady's Guide to Sex, Marriage and Something Else. And it's a non-fiction about Victorian life, and it is hilarious. The narration was really well done. I really enjoyed the narrator. She had a snarky tone to it, and the writing was already very snarky, but she really made it come alive. And also, you basically become a time traveler and you're set back into the time of Victorian wherever, and you learn about all the life that you had there as a woman and how it was with the clothes, with the hygiene, and with the chores you have and the choices you have and all the things. It was super fascinating and interesting. I can highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in the era, loves steampunk like I do, or just wants to have a laugh and don't listen to it in public, because I laughed out loud in the bus quite a lot. The last audiobook was something I had never heard about but highly enjoyed. The utterly uninteresting and unadventurous tales of Fred, Vampire Accountant, were hilarious. It's sort of short stories about the life of Fred and how he becomes a vampire. No, actually that's not the first part. He is already a vampire in the beginning, but he tells about this and how he meets his friends, and then they go through adventures and things go on, and it's just fun. It was so silly in points, the narration was really well done, And I just flew through it. I just couldn't stop listening to it. I think I listened to this in one day, which I rarely do with audiobooks, or books for that matter. I'm just too slow a reader to finish a book in a day. And that was basically my reading, mainly because I started reading Infinite Jest, which I enjoy, but it's taking a lot of time. I actually started listening to the audiobook now as well, because that way I get the reread done and redigest what I've already consumed or read, and helps me understand it better. So if you want to have an in-between video about my experiences with Infinite Jest, just let me know. Maybe I'll make a beginner's experience thing. I don't know. I haven't finished it, so I don't feel like I'm allowed to talk about it yet, because I'm just 250 pages in. But I'm guessing that will be all I'll be reading for the next few weeks. So let me know in comments how your May was, if you enjoyed all your books, if you read something that I have read, if you've known anything of this, tips, advice, whatever. Let's talk about books. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.